In the middle of the 20th century, human attention shifted. We began staring into glowing boxes in our living rooms. Today, that immersion is nearly absolute. We strap lenses directly over our eyes to wander through fabricated digital landscapes. Even when we step outside, we navigate physical spaces saturated in artificial light and commercial messaging. Our political discourse, the way we decide the fate of nations, is regularly packaged and consumed as a flat, rehearsed broadcast. Because we navigate these artificial stimuli every waking minute, we naturally accept them as baseline reality. We assume the world presented to us is exactly the way things are. 24 centuries ago, a Greek philosopher mapped out a thought experiment to test that exact assumption. Imagine a row of prisoners held in a deep underground cavern. They are chained in place, unable to turn their heads. All they can see is the blank stone wall in front of them. Behind them burns a fire. As people carry objects past the flames, shadows dance across the prisoners' field of view. Because the prisoners have never seen the objects or the fire, they accept these shifting gray silhouettes as the entirety of existence. The trap Plato described is still operating. To figure out if we are currently living inside it, we have to look past the screens in our hands and examine the biological hardware inside our own heads. Everything you consider reality is processed inside a completely dark, silent vault. Your brain has no direct contact with the outside world. This diagram shows how the brain relies on a fragmented stream of incoming data. Photons hit your retina, sound waves vibrate your eardrums, and those impacts are translated into electrical impulses. There is no color or sound inherent in the universe. What you perceive as a bright red apple or a loud siren is manufactured right here, post-processed in real time by your neural pathways. What you experience at any given moment is a highly filtered biological simulation constructed by your mind. Even if we bypass human biology entirely and look closely at the external world, the physical universe defies common sense. Look at this scale model of an atom. The desk in front of you feels completely solid, but at the microscopic level, matter consists almost entirely of a vast, disproportionate void of empty space. And when we investigate the particles within that void, they begin to behave like undulating waves instead of solid objects. In quantum mechanics, the act of observing a particle forces it to choose a specific state. Thousands of years before we mapped a single atom, Plato arrived at the exact same conclusion. The surface-level appearance of the universe is inherently deceptive. In Plato's story, one prisoner eventually breaks free, but stepping out of the darkness and into the raw sunlight is physically painful. The sudden glare is blinding, and their familiar, predictable world collapses. Humanity undergoes this same painful awakening over and over. For millennia, we were absolutely certain the Earth sat motionless at the center of the cosmos. Then we looked through telescopes and realized our entire solar system is just a speck, drifting at the edge of an unfathomable galaxy. Real discovery is rarely comfortable. It requires the deliberate, often difficult dismantling of our most trusted assumptions. This difficult process unites centuries of researchers. Scientists, philosophers, and mathematicians face the same task of pushing past surface illusions to test what is real. This search for truth is deeply personal. It requires the constant examination of our own biases and the narratives we choose to follow. As we continue to probe the brain's construction of the world and the strange behavior of subatomic particles, the mystery only deepens. We are still mapping the boundary between our own perception and the ultimate nature of reality. We are left with a choice. We can remain comfortably seated in the dark, watching the shadows projected on the wall, or we can stand up and walk toward the light,